Military jets in the sky, caught in a frame, lens focused tight, playing a game. Metal birds soar, pilots on a mission. RampCheck, photographer snap, capturing vision. Wings spread wide, slicing through blue. Every click, a story anew. Altitude climbing, cameras aligning. Jets and lens, perfectly timed. Fly high, lens low, skies open wide. Pilots and shooters on this ride, from the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Engines roar loud, heartbeats synced up. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. Pilot maneuvers, still in display. RampCheck captures, night turning day. Clouds part, shadows dance on the wings. Eyes sharp, capturing majestic things. Uniforms and cameras, different arts. In sync, playing their parts. From sunrise flexes to sunset landings. Moments of flight, candid standings. Memory cards fill, hearts too full. Aviation life, beautiful pull. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Engines roar loud, heartbeats sync up. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Engines roar loud, heartbeats sync up. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Engines roar loud, heartbeats sync up. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. Engines roar loud, heartbeats sync up. Flash of light, afterburners lit up. From the cockpit view to ground below. Aviation dreams through the shutters glow. From sunrise flexes to sunset landings. Moments of flight, candid standings. Memory cards fill, hearts too full. Aviation life, beautiful pull. Sky full of iron birds, wings kissed by the dawn. Shutter clicks echo, memories are born. High altitude art frames boundless sky, capturing the soul in a single eye. Pilot steady hands, cruising through the stratos. Crew weaving tales in cabins like shadows. Lenses on the runway, passion takes flight. Photographers kneel, chasing the light. Pilot steady hands, cruising through the stratos. Crew weaving tales in cabins like shadows. Lenses on the runway, passion takes flight. Photographers kneel, chasing the light. Sky snapshots, tales from the air. Moments frozen, stories to share. Mile high dreams in every shot. Aviation bliss we never forgot.
canvas of blue. Planes paint paths, graceful and true. From takeoff to landing, magic unfolds. Cameras capture, legends retold. Jet streams whisper, tales of yore. Pilots navigate to distant shores. Crew in motion, like actors on stage. Photographers chronicle every age. Sky snapshots, tales from the air. Moments frozen, stories to share. Mile-high dreams in every shot. Aviation bliss we never forgot. Whisper tales of yore. Pilots navigate to distant shores. Crew in motion, like actors on stage. Photographers chronicle every age. Jet streams whisper tales of yore. Pilots navigate to distant shores. Crew in motion, like actors on stage. Photographers chronicle ever forgotten. Photographers chronicle every age. Sky snapshots, tales from the air. Moments frozen, stories to share. Mile-high dreams in every shot. Aviation bliss we never forgot. I send a blue warrior in flight. Silent whispers blend with roaring might. Steel wings slicing through the endless sky. Chasing dreams where the eagles dare to fly. With fire in the heart and jets ablaze. Defying the gravity, lost in the haze. A dance with destiny, the heavens ignite. In the solitude, she finds her light. Turning the world beneath a ballet of speed. Through clouds and shadows, she's destined to lead. A symphony of power in the calm so profound. Echoes of freedom in each thunderous sound. With fire in the heart and jets ablaze. Defying the gravity, lost in the haze. A dance with destiny, the heavens ignite. In the solitude, she finds her light. In the solitude, she finds her light. Turning the world beneath a ballet of speed. Through clouds and shadows, she's destined to lead. A symphony of power in the calm so profound. Echoes of freedom in each thunderous sound.
Manager at 5, I'm going to take off. Why do I go take off on hold?
People like you, organizations like RampCheck, I love you guys.
You are clear for takeoff runway 21 left. Winds are call. Stand by for the retrans on uniform. It's showtime.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this very special edition of the RampCheck Aviation Podcast. Aaron, how are you, brother? You can hear me?
Hey, brother, I can't hear any audio.
Okay, let's see here. Let me check something. Stand by.
Stand by one, everybody.
I can
Who
hear
can
you.
hear Tony? Who can hear me? Whoever's watching.
Let's see.
Stand by.
Let's see what's going on here. Let me see.
Anyway,
Yeah,
hopefully
Aaron,
you guys can hear me.
I can hear myself.
I can't hear
just fine.
Tony. But anyway, I just wanted to give a shout out to Jonas Chanel, if I'm saying that right. Anyway, thanks for watching from Quebec. Awesome.
Pretty awesome. You have any audio?
Working some audio issues. Not really sure what's going on. Sometimes when you're live streaming, that's what happens. But anyway, thanks for joining us, folks. Let's see here.
And I just checked the stream to make sure that I'm coming through, and I am. So maybe Aaron's having a couple of technical issues. But hey, welcome. Ryan will be joining us here in just a moment. Of course, live coverage today of Starship Flight 6 special launch. Let's see here. Let's see. I don't know if they've started their live stream yet. I'm just going to double check here and see if they're streaming yet. Maybe Aaron has a stream that he can watch. Oh, there we go. So we'll get this figured out here. But in the meantime, let us know where you're watching from other than Quebec.
All right, I think I got it now.
You got it now? Okay, perfect. All right. Okay. Technical difficulties. What can you say, huh? Anyway.
Well, when you live stream, unfortunately, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah. Good to hear you, brother. I think we got Ryan jumping on here in just a second as well.
Good. Did you already give a shout out to Jonas watching from Quebec? I tried to do it, but my audio wasn't working.
Yes, I did. And let's see, we got a bunch of people watching on X as well as Facebook and YouTube. So let us know where you're watching. Let us know if you're excited, what your expectations are for the launch today. And I'll just, let's see. Oh, we got an empty room here, but I'll show you.
Hey, brother, do you want me to put the X stream on through SpaceX?
So I've got the official stream up right now. I'm going to try and pull it up here. Let's see.
I've got mine on backup just in case there's internet issues or something.
Here we go. Let me unmute it here and we can listen in for a second.
Decal where the banana is today. And there you can see that on your screen. Now, that decal
can you enlarge
is 3
that, brother?
feet tall, which might be hard to tell looking at it on the ship right there, which is why we have a full-scale reproduction of that decal here with us.
Is that better?
So that you can see the size compared to humans.
It is bigger than you think it is.
Dude, I want
like
a
Jesse said,
t-shirt
it's
with
3
that
feet
on it.
high.
That's awesome.
And this is full scale, just like the one that was on Flight 5. Now, it is hard to follow Mechazilla, but I do have one better. Bananas have been used for quick visual comparisons for quite some time. And our teammates thought it was time to bring the venerated yellow fruit to Starship.
That's
Today
funny.
we're flying Starship's first ever physical payload, which is, as you might have guessed, is a banana.
Oh my God.
That's a view inside Starship, and if you look closely,
that's awesome.
You can see our stuffed banana payload, which is doubling as
that is
today's
hilarious.
Zero gravity or zero
got a
G
banana
indicator.
going to space.
Look how huge the interior is of Starship.
I know, that's amazing. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello, brothers. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Did I just hear something that they said they're flying a banana?
Our first Starlink satellite.
Yeah, they'll probably show the feed in the feed again.
banana, nice.
We need to bring back the you banana eating son of a bitch.
To get an even better sense of how big Starship is, let's take the average size banana.
Okay, here's the
next
size
to the
comparison.
average size human, which is about 2 meters high.
Oh, this is
Towering over
awesome.
our
Check
average
this out.
human is the length of the Millennium Falcon, which comes in at 35 meters. Our Falcon 9 rocket payload carrying
The Millennium
double the
Falcon,
size of
love
the
it.
Millennium Falcon at 70 meters, and nearly twice the size of that is the fully integrated Starship at 121 meters tall. The ship is about 50 meters, and the Super Heavy booster alone stands.
So here's the banana way over
and we do
here.
have plans to make the ship and booster even taller in the future.
And
Hey, brother,
it
bump
might be
the
hard to
audio
imagine
just
that 'cause
up
it's pretty big
slightly in the
already.
stream.
Now, Starship's
Okay.
first stage has a
Got it.
diameter roughly 2.5 times that of Falcon 9, and as you can see on your screen, with
Yeah, there we
33
go.
much
Sounds good.
larger Raptor engines. I love this view. This
God,
is looking up
Jonas,
at the aft
yes,
end
nice
of Starship there at the engine bay. Now, moving up
Wow,
the
that
rocket, the
is
ship
amazing.
features 6 Raptor engines, 3 sea levels, and 3 vacuum engines, which are optimized to operate in the vacuum of space. The ship is designed for vertical takeoff and landing on any hard surface, like the surface of the moon, for example.
Unbelievable.
This ship is also
For
outfitted
example.
with 4 flaps to help aerodynamically control the vehicle's attitude during atmospheric flight and enable a precision landing.
To reach full reusability, the ship
Dude,
must
this
survive re-entry
I'm so
not just
stoked for
once,
this.
but
It's gonna be
multiple
so
times.
awesome.
It took the teams at SpaceX
I
about
know.
3 years to develop the heat
It was
shield
so
on
much fun
Starship,
stream.
and development for improvements is
Roasted
still
bananas.
ongoing. The ship's heat shield
Hey,
is composed of thousands of hexagonal ceramic
is-
tiles.
are we
designed
trying to
insulate
listen
the
to what
vehicle
she's
during
saying, or do you
atmospheric
want me
Oh,
to?
just
temperatures can be as high as
whenever it's like
2,600
really
degrees Fahrenheit
important,
or over
Yeah,
1,400 degrees
and I can
Celsius.
just
I can always
Tiles are
mute it
something we
too.
iterate on
Okay,
every
well, I just wanted to say something I read on X from Elon Musk this morning. He said the objectives for Starship Flight 6 are just stating these. So, like, you know, everything's a test, right? And everything is trial and error. So, because there's always haters for some reason, but there shouldn't be.
yeah.
But here are the 4 main objectives he listed. Restart of Raptor engines in vacuum, which
Okay.
I don't necessarily quite understand that. Maybe we can elaborate in a minute.
Somebody
Is
operating a
that
grinder back
SpaceX
there?
grinding down something at the
Yeah.
last minute? Or
Sorry, work being done at my house. I'm in the furthest room from it. Sorry, brothers.
And I think they're actually going over those too while you're talking. So go ahead and
daylight landing of the ship.
okay.
Okay.
Higher peak heating, in parentheses, steeper reentry, and then faster and harder booster catch.
Okay.
And then he follows it with this. There are thousands of small design changes also being tested. Thousands.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's kind of cool, huh?
Well, good. Yeah, no, it'll be great. I'm interested to see what that faster and harder booster catch is.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm just going to say it again.
That's probably why they're calling it bananas, because it is going to be bananas to see that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it
Who
is.
says bananas all the time? I think it's Joe Rogan. He's always like, "That's bananas."
It is Joe Rogan. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
He does
bananas.
say it all the time.
So it looks like they're summarizing the historic Flight Test 5, which is awesome.
Okay.
By the way, Flight Test 6 is going to be super historic as well, not only because of the objectives, but our
Are you pirate?
what should I call it? our our commander in chief elect,
Our new commander in chief.
again, is
That's
going
right.
to be there for the launch today. So that's kind of
President-elect.
cool as well. President Donald Trump will be there, which is pretty damn exciting. I know Elon's probably excited about that. Hey, if you're new to the stream, you can catch us every Wednesday night, except tomorrow night.
Except tomorrow. That's why we're doing today.
Right?
Most
Anyway.
Wednesdays.
Yes, most Wednesday nights, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on X and YouTube. Twitter. I'm at a loss. I just
Sorry, I was
Facebook.
just laughing because the Banana Girls popped on the screen. I thought they were joining our stream. I was like, "Who are they?"
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. But anyway, check us out. We've got a great collection of YouTube videos. It's all about aviation. We love doing this, and let's go back to the X stream for a second, because I think we're going over the objectives.
Flight, the booster will separate from the ship in a hot stage separation, and we've seen that occur on multiple flights, including flight 2, 3, 4, and 5. About 2 seconds after that burns, we'll jettison that hot stage. The booster will perform its flip and boost back maneuver, and we will once again look to return the booster to the launch site for a catch by the tower's chopstick arms. And once again, we will only attempt that if both the booster and tower are healthy after launch. We were successful last time, but we should emphasize that this process is still very new. And this is still just a test, so success is very far from guaranteed today. It's always a possibility that we'll lose the vehicle. It's a contingency that we always plan for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, while the booster is doing its job, the ship's 6 engines will remain lit for a few minutes before shutting down and then going into the coast phase. The ship will coast for a total of about 40 minutes or so, reaching a peak altitude of approximately 213 kilometers. Now, one additional objective for this flight during coast is an in-space burn using one of ship's Raptor engines. Doing a burn while in space will build confidence that we can do deorbit burns, which is a key capability for upcoming orbital missions. Now, after the coast phase, the ship will attempt a controlled reentry, and if ship makes it all the way down, we'll once again perform a flip and landing burn before splashing down in the Indian Ocean.
Yeah. Now, there are some notable changes to our entry plans for this flight, and they will intentionally push the ship to, and very likely beyond, its limits. This includes several thermal protection upgrades and operational changes as we prepare for future ship catch and reuse. Today's flight test will also test new secondary thermal protection materials, and entire sections of the heat shield has actually been removed in certain areas. And on top of all of that, we're going to fly the ship at an aggressive angle of attack once it's moving slower than the speed of sound.
Now, this means we'll be flying nose down instead of
I love these test flights because they're pushing the envelope, and that's cool to see.
Of the flap's ability to maintain control,
every single time.
But it will be a chance to get real.
Did you hear that? Nose down.
Actually on.
So, to put it as bluntly as possible, do not be surprised if this is not a smooth flight to splash down today. We are intentionally looking for how far we can push and discover the vehicle's true limits as we plan for future ship return and
Gives
catch.
me chills, man.
And even though ship recovery is not expected today,
push it to the edge.
Data we receive all the way to the end is what we're looking for and what will help us get to a rapidly reusable Starship of the future.
Now, just like Flight 5, one of our objectives for Flight 6 is attempting to return the booster to the launch site to be caught by the tower. The booster for this flight has upgrades to add redundancy across its propulsion system, increase the structural, as well as increasing the structural strength in a few spots. We've also implemented a few changes across both ship and tower to try and speed up the post-catch timeline. Returning vehicles to the launch site leverages the same hardware that we use for stacking ahead of flight, making our infrastructure multi-purpose. And in order for us to achieve that rapid reusability that we keep talking about, we need a quick turnaround. And you can't get much faster than returning the launch vehicle right back there to where it needs to launch from again.
Exactly. In this video, you can see our original render of booster catch alongside the actual footage of catch from Flight 5. This video is just mind-blowing.
Which one's
to
which?
see the predicted versus reality. And just like the last flight for today's booster catch, there are thousands of criteria that need to be met in order to proceed with catch. Automated checks have to indicate we have a healthy booster and a healthy tower, and the flight director must issue a manual command, which is informed by manual checks from the flight control team. If this command is not sent prior to the completion of the boost back burn, or if automated health checks show unacceptable conditions with Super Heavy or the tower, the booster will default to a trajectory that takes it to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
I remember when we first heard the call out that tower was go for catch on Flight 5, and wow, I still get goosebumps when I think about that moment.
I know, it's crazy how similar they look.
Everything
like
on the booster and the tower checks out after launch. As always, we accept no
I wanted to show
compromises
another
when it
quick
comes to the
video
safety of the
before
public
everything
and our
really
team.
gets down
And so
to
that end,
let me,
the area around the
mute
pad
them for a second. So go ahead. And it looks like we are about 15 minutes from launch.
Okay, check this out. It's a video of Trump Force One flying over SpaceX there, and yeah, look at
nice.
that.
Beauty.
I thought that was a cool video.
That's so awesome.
You had Starship down there, and you got the second tower there getting, it's going to be amazing when they start using both. And you can see the manufacturing tower, the facilities down there just below as well. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was cool. But anyway, you can go back to the stream there, Tony.
Okay, 1 second here. I'm just checking to see what the the nearest airport is to Starbase. Oh, it looks like South Padre, Brownsville. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. Very cool. I was just curious here. All right, let's see what the other banana dude's saying.
Banana. Well, it wouldn't let me click on the chat on that photo, I guess.
Oh, on the GIF? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jonas. We think you number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, cool. Tony, do you want to pull up that stream again?
Perfect. And there was kind of that quick triple pop that
the
you heard.
Sound.
Now that was picked up from closer to the pad. Most people at our distance and further away, you're only going to hear one or two as they're happening kind of so on top of each other that it might just sound like one big bang. But as I said, that's something that's only associated with spacecraft being reused. We hear it with Falcon 9. We heard it during Shuttle, and looking forward to hopefully hearing it today. Just a quick status check, though. We're about 85% full on ship, almost 2/3 of the way full on booster, continuing to count down about 13 and a half minutes.
You can see the frost rising as they fill up the tanks.
Today. But still looking good. I'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes. Back over to Jesse and Kate.
Thanks, Dan. Yeah, I think Dan said it really well when it really does hurt the brain to think that this is going to be the norm, that this is just the beginning. Every one of these flights is a step closer to a fully operational Starship that will take us beyond Earth orbit.
Going to be routine.
And with our pace of rapid iteration here, the Moon and Mars are not nearly as far in the future as you may think. In fact, we're planning to send Starships to Mars as soon as 2026.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Opens, which is under 2 years from now. Now, you might be familiar with the Starlink logo, which you see there on your screen. It's an iconic representation of the Mars transfer orbit, also called the home and transfer orbit. This transfer window, or the time between the time when Earth and Mars are closest to each other, opens every 26 months and is only open for about 2 to 3 months at a time for a vehicle with Starship's power.
Lining up a launch to Mars is similar to how we launched to the International Space Station.
That actually reminds me of
the launches to match the station's orbit.
James Bond.
If we didn't do this, we would need more propellant and more time to get there.
So the first opportunity we have to fly Starships to Mars, we plan to go for it. These first flight tests to Mars will be uncrewed and will test the reliability of landing intact. If those landings go well, the first crewed flights will soon follow
we talked about the home and transfer
Right now,
window.
our flight tests are focused on proving out reusability of both Super Heavy and Starship. In 2025, we'll continue that focus while also potentially flying our first Starlink missions and demonstrate capabilities central to our role in
You know what was cool about that footage there? It's like what you would see in a movie.
Starship will be used to land
like,
astronauts on the
and all this stuff's
going
gonna happen.
3 mission, which will put the first humans on
Yeah,
the
it'll
moon
be
since
wild when we see
1972.
actual footage, real
One
footage.
key capability will be the ability to refuel Starship on orbit, which you can see there on your screen, with a Starship prop tank.
Look at that thing, man.
Next year, we're planning to test this capability by launching 2
Dude,
Starships.
it's kind of like how I wish I could have been alive in the generation of the first space race. I have a feeling like these next 5 to 10 years are just going to be so awesome for space travel.
It's going to be bananas, brother.
Spacesuits from Axiom Space and leave the first footprints on the moon.
BANANAS.
Kickstarting humanity's mission to establish a sustainable presence there.
That's my shit.
And coming soon to a
Look at that thing
near you, Starship Enterprise Edition.
Enterprise.
So exciting. And all the advancements that are going to come in order to enable all of that. Now, our rapid iterative development approach has been the basis for all of SpaceX's major innovative advancements, including Falcon, Dragon, and Starlink. Today we're testing hardware and systems, and we need to know how they perform
So
under the most
excited about
extreme
this.
conditions. And what's more extreme than the flight environment? We'd much rather find the bugs and limits now during testing than later on when there's more on the line.
Oh,
But
yeah.
to reiterate, while we do determine an acceptable level of technical risk on our vehicle and pad to learn as fast as possible, we accept no compromises when it comes to the safety of the public or our team. So
What's the
all I have to
weather like
say,
down there? It
this
looks
is
like
only the
we're not
sixth
going to
of
have any
many
clouds
future flight
blocking
tests
the
of Starship
cameras.
before it becomes fully operational.
Yeah.
And we tend
I was
to
gonna
do
add
testing
when they
out in
said
the
that,
open,
or the
just like today.
wells.
And that means
Or
And
the
people
seals.
sometimes see
and
when
the,
our hardware
the
doesn't
seals with
perform.
their headphones. Yeah, I'm going to mute them just for a second so we can chat a little bit. But they mentioned the home and transfer window. Do you remember what movie that was in?
No.
I just watched it
Interstellar?
Nope.
No.
Oh, it may have been mentioned in no. Well, maybe.
Yeah, that's just the first movie I thought of, so I didn't really know for
The
sure.
one most recent. God, that's so beautiful. Look at that.
I know that
It
is
really
so
is.
Damn.
Imagine how cool it'd be to have that job as the SpaceX drone pilots,
Oh, man.
covering these launches, because they have some
Mhm.
awesome drones orbiting around.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. So, The Martian with Matt Damon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it had to be one of those two.
Yep, exactly.
Looks like they're showing the Starlink antennas on the ship. Oh, look at that. One of the thrusters is testing or firing right now.
Yep, I saw that.
See if the one on the right goes too. But it's
Yeah.
just so amazing, and it's so. Oh, there it goes again.
That's
And to see all the fog on the ground from the super cooled fuel, the
Mhm.
loading, and it's just
I know.
That is super cool fuel.
Pretty-
It's
pretty
awesome.
cool. I have to say, we're gonna have to get us some Starship gear, brother. Oh, let's see what we got here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not only that, some official stuff from SpaceX, but
Yep.
I'm going to put together some SpaceX, Starship swag for the RampSwag store too.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
so too.
For sure.
Falcon 9, Falcon Heavy, gotta love everything Elon's doing with SpaceX, and unbelievable.
Just amazing. Absolutely. Okay, we'll bring it up.
What are we showing there? Is that just
Just some testing.
where
Take a look.
it's just like a
Wide
test
range
site?
of upgrades that will make the vehicle more reliable.
It's a test
adding
stand
redundancy
where they,
to- and the ability
before
to
they put
operate
it
for
on
longer
top and
durations
stack
in
it,
space.
they test
One
everything
unique
before
aspect
down
of
on
a
the
trip to
test
Mars
stands.
are the different conditions ship will see when entering the Martian atmosphere. Now, it's difficult to simulate Mars's atmosphere when re-entering on Earth, so we've been testing a variety of heat shield materials inside a specialized plasma jet chamber at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign,
Wow.
where we're
Dang,
able
look at
to
that.
more closely simulate Mars's 95% carbon dioxide atmosphere.
Aside from looking awesome, this is important testing. The intense heat of entry will cause the CO2 to break down into its base elements, exposing Starship to atomic oxygen, which increases surface heating and can cause materials to oxidize or start to break down. Spacecraft entering over Mars encountered more than twice the amount of atomic oxygen at their peak when compared to Earth. And that is certainly
it's a
unique
much thinner
challenge.
atmosphere.
As
That's
we
crazy.
continue to
Oh,
test,
look at
we'll
that
learn more
view.
about what makes a
Wow.
great heat shield for Mars. All right, now that we're heading
Wow.
into the final minutes of the countdown,
Now,
let's go
Padre.
back to Dan for the latest on the ground there at Starbase.
Cool.
Hey, Kate, afraid I have nothing but good news for you. We have a go from our range safety team.
Sweet.
We are a little over 90% full on ship, almost 85% full on booster, and not tracking any holds to an on-time liftoff. So we've got about 3 more minutes.
What a
around
bum.
here.
I'm
As
afraid
long as
I
the
only
range
have
stays
good
clear, we don't
news.
trip
Come
any
on,
holds.
man.
We might blow right past that T-minus
I know, that
40-second
freaked me
mark
out for like
and
a
lift
split
off right at
Same,
the top of our
same.
window at 4 p.m. Central. So toss it back to you guys one more time, but fun part about
So really quick before he talks, I just want to mention they want to make this routine as
No.
like getting on an airliner, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
And also I like the theme of this is they're not expecting Starship itself to complete all of its mission requirements or what they're trying to do today, but just
Because they're
pushing
pushing
the
to
envelope.
see
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
And even
Retraction.
the expectations on returning booster to the chopsticks to Mechazilla.
Right.
You know, they're upping the parameters, seeing if they could catch it. It sounded like at a faster velocity.
Yep.
So pretty awesome. Look at
Yeah,
that. They've got
cool.
their graphic on there. All the tanks are nearly full.
And there is such a thing as beginner's luck, which is definitely, I mean, these guys are like the most brilliant minds on the planet right now. But yeah, I mean, there's always something called beginner's luck, and I cannot wait to see the crew version of a real Starship. That's gonna be super exciting.
That will
to
be
know
cool.
How far we've come, and the Starship Enterprise. That's pretty awesome. I didn't know that was in the plan, so that
is cool.
That's cool.
Now they just got to find the first captain of that flight to have the last name Kirk or Picard, and then we'll be set.
Well, and you know the flight engineer's got to be a Scotsman.
All right, let's go back to the stream,
Still
guys. It's
potentially
4
go for
minutes.
launch, so nothing to be worried about there.
Here we go. We'll just
at
let
that
them
point,
talk.
basically, up until T-minus 40 seconds, all aborts are just holds. This would allow the team to wait for final checkouts to assess propellant levels, engines, avionics, vehicle pressurization, you know, range, weather. Occasionally, we've had shrimp boats lingering in the past, but that doesn't sound like that is the case today.
Yeah, not today. No shrimp boats, which is great. Everything so far is looking good. We're getting really excited here. Just a few minutes away. We're going to go back, send it over to Dan in Starbase. How's it going, Dan?
It is still going great. Just coming up
Does
on
that
about
logo
3.5
look okay?
minutes away, so we should be
Oh,
done
yeah,
with
much
our
better.
prop load
Yeah, I
on
just wanted
ship
to get something.
momentarily. Then about 30 seconds later, we'll close out on booster. Our
this,
flight
too.
Control
There we
team
go.
on board, or in
That
the
way we're not
building
covering
just
the
behind me.
screen.
Not on board. Some of them might wish they were on board. Flight Control team in the building behind me, they're going to have a lot of work to do right after we lift off. As we still have a lot of manual checks that happen on the tower prior to the flight director, who's going to be Tristan Pierce again today, giving a manual command to bring the booster back to the launch site. And the tower did just incredibly well on the last flight. We didn't lose any of our required redundancy for a catch, and so we're hoping to see that again today. A lot of the team, you know, really putting armor on the tower, making all of those things work. Played a huge role in making that catch possible, and looking forward to hopefully seeing that happen again. And of course, sending our first payload to space. You can see the banana. It's very tightly secured, but
See, Ryan?
it does have some room to float around. So once we're
Look at it. It's like kind of swaying a little bit.
That's not satire, right?
No, it's true.
That's true.
And that's looking right now. That's where we're going to have Starlinks. That's our
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Getting its
That's
ride
why
to
we need
space.
to bring back our
Coming
banana.
up in about 2.5 minutes, we are
A
closing out
banana.
on all of our prop
You're
load.
right. You are so right,
Our
brother.
fill drains are starting to close, so that means we're no longer going to be flowing propellant into the booster and the ship. We're going to do what's called pushbacks. So all of that propellant in the ground systems is going to get pushed back to the tanks, clear out everything around the pad right before we light those 33 engines and take off.
So
just quick reminder, you're going to see fire start at the bottom. You're going to see the deflector start at about 10 seconds before launch. Lots of water to help dissipate all that heat, all that sound. And then the engine starting up in 3 different groups. And then about a second after T0, we should see liftoff. About 2.5 minutes into the flight, a little bit longer, we'll see hot staging. And that's when we're going to be listening really close on those loops to see if we're going to be bringing the booster back for a catch today. Do always want to caution, it's never a guarantee. We've done this once. We'll see if we do it again. We're only going to do it if the booster and the tower are looking really good before we attempt to bring it back here. But coming up on a minute, not tracking any holds on the board right now.
Man, look at
so
the
as long
skies
as
today.
we don't have any last second things, which do happen.
Less than a minute. Here we go.
There's the cheering.
All right, flight director just confirmed T-minus 1 minute.
Dude, this is wild.
Key moment to look at in 10 seconds.
Makes me want to go to Texas and watch one.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Right through that.
The anticipation's killing me.
Flight directors go for launch.
Oh, hell yes. Here we go.
All right, we're now T-minus 20 seconds until liftoff of Starship Flight 6. This will mark our second attempt to catch the Super Heavy booster at the launch
Oh,
tower.
dude, here we go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Little delay.
Oh, here we
Come
go.
on, baby.
Come on, baby.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Go, baby, go.
And what's wild is
The upper was
Starship with the
pitching
heavy
downrange.
booster.
Booster Raptor, chamber pressure nominal.
It's like 400 feet tall, and you look at that flame, and it's like almost twice as long. And that view.
Booster and ship, avionics, power, and telemetry nominal.
They're all lit.
Looks like they're all good.
Come on, baby.
Imagine the sound of feeling that live.
All right, we're just a little over a minute
maximum
into flight.
dynamic pressure.
We're about 6 miles away, so all the sound's still hitting us here.
Dude, look at that
Call out
speed.
the power telemetry
1,400 kilometers an
You
hour.
see all 33 Raptor engines lit up on telemetry screens.
Unbelievable.
At this point,
Look
we've
at that.
passed through that point of maximum aerodynamic pressure, that max Q. Now, coming up in just a little over a minute from now is going to be hot staging. So we're going to see the 6 engines on the ship ignite while still attached to the booster. Just before that, we'll see all but 3 center engines on the booster shut down. In what we call MECO, it's most engines cut off instead of main engine.
Miko.
And so
Love
while we
it.
continue to watch it go up, a lot of our flight controllers looking at all the systems around the tower.
Oh, the rocket sounds weird.
A manual command.
That's so hard to tell the different angles.
Just about
I know.
30 seconds.
Oh, there's the telemetry down there. Okay, I see it. Never mind. So how high is 50 kilometers?
That is a good damn question.
I'll look it up.
And we heard the tower is go for catch.
All right, go for
The
catch.
return flag is set
Okay.
for true.
Okay.
Wow, 60 kilometers is 40 miles.
Stage separation.
Well, almost
Look at that.
40.
All right, hot staging confirmed.
Booster
6 out of 6
booster.
lit on the ship.
Beautiful hot
Booster
staging. I
boost
love
back
that
going.
hot staging.
We heard that we are go for catch.
Yes.
Kate, Jesse, take out the views. Hopefully I got a booster coming home real soon.
Come on.
From our view here, Dan, great views of planet Earth behind that Super Heavy booster. Right now it is performing the
Ship
boost
chamber
back
pressure
burn.
nominal.
Good news there, telling us that the pressures inside the ship are good. That is the second stage or the upper portion of the vehicle. Follow along with the telemetry on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, booster is currently, Super Heavy is currently in its boost back burn. This boost back burn,
Avionics, power, and telemetry.
Oh, look at that.
this boost back burn lasts just a little bit over a minute. So we've got a little, approximately 30 seconds
Oh, that's
left.
so cool.
We've had shutdown
Wow,
of that
30
boost back
seconds.
burn. Up next will be hot stage jettison. The view from the camera on the left, or from the booster on the left-hand side of your screen, and then tracking cam there on the right-hand side of your screen.
How peaceful
You'll see
our
those
world
grid
looks.
fins.
Booster offshore divert.
And we can also see that the hot stage has been jettisoned.
We said something
Yes,
about
visual confirmation of that there on your
divert.
screen, which is great.
hot stage
Now the
divert.
next
Starship is following a nominal trajectory.
The next step for booster is going into that landing burn. Again, it'll light up 13 of
Look
those
at that.
engines, and then pared down to 3 engines right before.
What are we looking at on the left there? Is that the booster?
Call out,
So I'm going to
boost
switch
back,
to this
or excuse
view
me,
just for
booster
landing,
offshore divert.
so we can
Unfortunately,
see.
that means that we are no-go for the catch. As
No
we
go
said
for the
before,
catch. Did you
both
hear
the
that?
tower and the vehicle, as well
Darn it.
as the operators on console, have been actively evaluating the commit criteria for that return to the launch tower. And unfortunately, we did not
Okay.
have a pass on those commit criteria. So we are no-go for tower
Okay.
catch.
Well, I thought I heard the
And we
word
did
divert,
mention that
so-
we're constantly evaluating the criteria for catch. There's a lot of things that need to go well in order to line that up. Unfortunately, today we will forego booster catch today. But what you're seeing on your screen is ship currently making its way towards the Indian Ocean. Still looking good so far.
Exactly. So views
All right,
there
well,
of the
booster will be
booster
able to-
on the left-hand side of your screen, views of the ship on the right-hand side of your screen.
I'm sure they'll
Now, we
simulate,
said before
landing
that
into the
it
ocean.
was
I'm
not
sure that's their
guaranteed
backup.
that we would be able to make a
Right.
tower catch today. So while we were hoping for it, like we said, it was pretty epic on attempt 1, but the safety of the teams and the public and the pad itself are paramount. So we are accepting no compromises in any of those areas.
Curious to find
Exactly,
out
and we're
what
still
the,
going to get a lot of
problem
good
was.
flight data with booster even, but especially with
Yeah.
ship. Again, we have an additional objective today to do an in-space relight of a Raptor engine, which again will help us set us up for being able to do
It's
deorbit
huge.
launch,
Ship chamber pressure is nominal.
It's huge.
which
Come
is
on,
important for
Elon.
orbital flights. And what you're seeing on your screen is a view from Super Heavy as it's making its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, once again, we are attempting an offshore landing of the Super
Okay.
Heavy booster. So we have seen this before, and it is still very fun to watch, watching it come down for a soft splashdown off the Gulf Coast of Texas.
I
You can see
wonder
it
how
there
far off the Gulf it
re-entering.
is.
We saw earlier those grid fins. There are 4 hypersonic grid fins.
All right,
So we can see
there
that the
goes-
landing
okay.
has
Here we go, here we
begun
go.
on the Super Heavy booster.
Okay, all
Same
good.
pattern, 13 engines will light. Gone down to 3, just as we expected.
Awesome.
Nice.
Look at that
There he
perfect
is.
landing.
What an incredible view of splashdown that we got today of
Wow.
Super Heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure the buoy cam views will be pretty
Nice.
awesome once again. So we'd like to confirm a water landing once again for the Super Heavy booster. Congrats to the SpaceX team for making that milestone as well. Now, ship continues to look good. We can see that it is, while all of that was happening, the crowd here in Hawthorne continuing to react to all these amazing views that we're getting. The next milestone is
Starship is in terminal guidance.
great news there. Starship terminal guidance, referring to what we see here on our screen, the upper stage, at about 8 minutes 35 seconds or so, we have ship engine cutoff.
Jeez,
which
that
would be
thing
the
is
cutoff
going like
of the,
13,000
the Raptor
miles per
engines.
hour.
Crazy.
You know, we can't forget too is just how difficult it is just
We
to
can see
get
on our
something
screen
that
ship
large
giving us some
into
incredible
orbit
views
or
brought
up into
to
space.
us by
Yep.
Starlink. This view is also very interesting because we can see basically the receding tile line that we referred to earlier, where we mentioned we have removed a number of heat shield tiles in order to test out and push the envelope on the ship
that
and
right here.
demonstrate
You see
what
my
its
cursor?
capabilities are.
Yeah.
Cut off.
Right here. That's cool.
And there we just heard call out for SECO, ship engine cutoff.
Right.
Great news there. Everything continuing to look
And they're going to
awesome
restart.
for ship.
Full view looking aft on ship here.
Aft on ship.
FTS is saved. Nominal orbit insertion.
There's that call out we were waiting for.
Right.
Confirmation
Phenomenal.
of good
There you
orbital
go.
insertion for ship today.
It has
Less
been
than
a
10
very
minutes.
exciting afternoon so far. We'd like to send it back over to Dan, who can give us that live view experience. Dan, once again, are you okay after witnessing another Starship launch?
Yeah, totally fine. it's you guys have to be jealous. This is the only way to do this. This is fantastic. No, it was really cool to see a lift off 33 and a 33. Didn't go for the booster catch today.
Ryan, mute your mic.
Commit criteria and did the offshore divert. So we went and did that water landing, as everybody saw. We'll dig into it a little bit more, but again, we've done it once, we've now done it twice. We're going to keep trying to do it, as this is just a core capability of Starship and what's going to make it so incredible. There's a lot left. We're just about almost 10 minutes into this flight, so about 50 plus minutes still to go. Ship nominal orbit, so it's on its way around the planet.
Cool.
It's going to attempt to do an in-space burn. We're going to light one of those Raptor engines, the sea level ones in the middle, just to help demonstrate that we can relight in that microgravity environment. Really critical for deorbit burns as we start to do some orbital missions in the not too distant future. And then following that, we'll see a ship entry, maybe a splashdown. As you guys said, we're really going to be pushing ship on this one. We're pretty much intentionally putting it in places where we expect it might not do so great. And all that's to try and help us learn, see if we were a little too conservative, and then maybe that opens up more capability for when we start catching them. But I'll check back in with everybody in a little bit. I'm going to tune in and watch the ship fly around planet Earth, and hopefully we see it re-entering in the not too distant future. Back over to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. Development testing, by definition, is unpredictable, which we saw with super heavy splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico today, but that is exactly why we test. As is standard for these tests, the area around the pad and along the flight path was cleared prior to launch, and we expect the road and beach to remain closed until further notice.
Yeah, testing development flight hardware in a flight environment is what enables our teams to quickly learn and execute design changes and hardware upgrades to improve the probability of success in the future.
It'd be so awesome.
Please do not attempt to approach the booster in the water for your safety as well as for that of our team that will be working on recovery.
It's funny that there are people, if you don't say that probably would.
Exactly.
Right?
The mission's not over. Ship is still coasting. But it
Please
has
don't
been nonstop
approach
since liftoff, and
the
with the booster having completed its job for the day,
ship.
we are going to take a short break for the next 35 minutes or so while ship continues to coast before re-entry. Now, as with previous flights, Starlink may enable us to talk to the ship through re-entry with no communication blackout. Now, we are still testing Starlink during this phase of flight, so nothing is completely certain.
Yeah.
All right. So they said that they're going to be back in about 35 minutes. So maybe why don't we come back in about 30 minutes? I mean, we'll leave the stream up so people can keep watching it and following along. I'll put the video back on. But you guys want to just kind of do your thing for about 30 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. Before we do that, did you listen and see our countdown timer?
I did. Yeah, that was cool. I was listening to it on X.
I did not. Sorry.
It's the newly christened RampCheck band.
Oh, okay. It was one of those. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We don't want to give all of our secrets out, but you know.
No, well, it's like I said, we got a new band.
Was it? Hold on, I gotta find what my favorite quote was. You ready? Before we go, it was. Where is it? I wrote it down and I forgot. Oh, here it is. It's brothers bonding as the engines cry.
Oh shit! It's so funny. I was listening to it as well during the countdown, and that was pretty sweet.
Nice.
And YouTube can't give us a strike because it's our own music.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you said 30 minutes.
Yep. About 30 minutes from now, it's 3:13, 3:14. So why don't we just say we come back at 3:40, about 25 minutes.
Sounds good.
Now. And so everybody, you feel free to stay on. We all those people that are watching today, we really appreciate it. A lot of people watching on X today, which is sweet. Got some somebody on YouTube, but anyway,
SpaceX and X, which is
both
owned by Elon.
It's all about the X today. Anyway,
that's right.
Okay, brothers. I'll put the audio back up, and we'll see you guys in about 25 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Peace.
Good.
just about 35 minutes into today's flight test, continuing to get some live views from Starship itself as it continues to make its way around the globe. We are coming up on what we will hopefully see is our in-space relight demonstration. This will be firing up one of those 3 sea-level Raptors on the very aft end of the ship and essentially reigniting it while we're in that microgravity environment in Earth orbit. We had attempted this once previously on Flight 3, but ended up skipping it when we had some attitude control issues with the ship. And we are on the dark side of the planet right now, so views are going to be a little bit dark, but hopefully we see some engine light come on as we do this relight test. This is a pretty critical capability for doing deorbit burns. This is not a deorbit burn. Want to stress that we're on a trajectory where if we didn't fire off the engine at all, we are definitely coming home. Ooh, seeing some thunderstorms down on the ground. That's pretty cool. But this is not a deorbit burn. If we didn't fire this engine, we're on a intentional suborbital trajectory. So no matter what, we're coming in over the Indian Ocean. Firing off the engine does change your exact splashdown point a little bit, but we've got this keep out zone across the entire Indian Ocean that we made sure was clear ahead of flight, and we continue to monitor during, but we're going to aim for that and hopefully see this relight test coming on in about a minute. It's just going to be one of these engines, and it uses what's called the header tank, so these small spherical tanks in the very top of Starship up in the nose cone. They don't require nearly as much gas to pressurize as your main tank, so they're really useful for any in-orbit maneuvers and then for landing burns. So if we make it to a landing burn today, we'll be using them for that as well. So we should be coming up in just about the next minute. Should be under a minute now away from that expected ship burn. And again, we've relit Raptors pretty frequently. We just did it with the landing burn and that boost back burn on the booster, and we've done it on ship landing burns. We just haven't done it in this microgravity environment where your propellant management and a lot of other things are different as you're not weighed down by the force of Earth's gravity.
Go.
All right.
And just heard the call for startup.
Look at that.
There's some light. There's that Raptor relit.
What's that coming off the bottom?
It's frozen.
All right, there you have it. The first time ever lighting a Raptor while in outer space, other than our ascent burn. So
nice.
Really cool to see that relit. That's a pretty critical capability that we're going to need when we're doing orbital missions in the not too distant future. So check another one off. That was a really cool
to see the lightning.
That was an objective we really wanted to hit on this one, and so good to see ship knock that one out in orbit. But for now, we're going to coast for just a little bit longer, and then it'll be time for ship entry. So we'll get the usual light show as we return from hypersonic velocities. We're just starting to do the entry prep for that, so we're going to get the flaps positioned, and then it's going to start taking the brunt of all of that heat as you're coming in from well in excess of 10,000 miles an hour. That's all going to build up a lot of heat as you're encountering an increasing atmosphere, building up that friction. And we're going to see how the tiles fare. We've also got some pretty cool tile experiments that we'll talk about in a little bit. But coming up real soon, ship re-entry, successful relight, and we'll start this entry part soon.
All right.
Cool. Let's hope for a landing. Man, it re-enters in the darkness like that. We should get quite a light show. Well, you can start to see it building up.
Oh, that plasma. Like the music is in sync with the.
I know, right?
I grabbed a quick piece of pizza while we were waiting.
Gotcha. I was considering grabbing a banana, but I don't want the carbs right now. I'll save the banana if they have a successful splashdown.
That's a good idea. Celebratory banana. By the way, while we're waiting, thank you everybody for watching our coverage of the SpaceX Starship flight number 6. Just to recap really quick, earlier we saw the Falcon Heavy actually re-enter.
That would be Starship, the heavy booster.
The heavy, that's what I meant. Sorry, the heavy booster.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just, us av geeks.
Terminology right. I know, right?
I was way off.
Anyway, so we saw the re-entry, and they initially were a go for catch, but due to some reason, they haven't said what the reason was, whether it was with the tower, whether it was with the actual booster itself, or other safety concerns, because of course they've said many times that safety is paramount, which it is, and it should be. But there was some reason why they went ahead and just had it land, do a soft landing in the water, and it looked like it executed a perfect landing to me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because I was wondering at the very end, it doesn't look like it's completely upright, but it actually right before it landed.
Well, it was the same attitude as they would do for a tower landing,
right?
Or a tower catch, and so
right, exactly.
It looked very similar to the Flight Test 5 when they actually did catch it.
Right.
Got that little tilt right at the end, as it's coming into the chopstick arms. So yeah, I mean, other than that, it looked great.
How we doing? Thanks. We doing all right?
Yeah. Did you get some sanding done while we were waiting?
There probably still going to be some done, so I will be prepared with the mute button. Where are we at? Is that re-entering the atmosphere right now?
Yep.
Yep. Beginning re-entry. Got a nice little plasma burn.
Yep. They before you came on, they lit the one sea level Raptor engine. That was successful, so that's good.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yep. Lit it. Cut it off.
So this is where they're gonna kind of like push it to the limits.
Yeah. This is actually gonna get pretty exciting to see what happens. I wish they would turn the music down a little bit and turn.
Yeah, they probably will. They'll probably kill the music here in a minute.
So
yeah, that's their stream, everybody.
Right. This is the official stream from SpaceX, powered by Starlink. If you see in the top right-hand corner of the screen, right there, and that's pretty interesting. Do you think if we would have had Starlink during the Columbia re-entry, if there would have been some definitive sign of what was about to happen?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, with Starlink, I guarantee. I mean, because Shuttle was a huge ship, so they would have been able to maintain communications. I bet if they're able to do it with Starship, I'm sure they would have been able to do it with Shuttle.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So, okay, is this like a little alien creature that decided to get on board?
That's like frozen propellant, man.
It looks like one of those troll dolls.
Yeah, I know. Because they'll vent propellant, and it freezes. I mean, up in space.
It is kind of cold up there, isn't it?
Virtually.
I've heard. Maybe we should ask Star-Lord. I think he knows.
Right. He's been frozen a couple of times. So for those of you that are watching and maybe have not seen or heard about us before, we are RampCheck Aviation. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ryan.
We're all three brothers. We're Av Geeks. We love SpaceX. Everything that has to do with aerospace and space, we like to cover. We like to talk about. We do a podcast. It's usually every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, right here on X, YouTube, Facebook, also Rumble. Go to our different channels, especially on YouTube. We've got a lot of great aviation content. We love to go to the red flag exercises, air shows. We make special videos. We've got some pretty special relationships with the AvGeek community. Some great interviews coming up. If you guys saw all over X, okay, they're coming back. So I'll shut up.
Been an exciting day so far. We lifted off from Starbase at 4 p.m. Central Time.
I feel like one of those sports commentators or just news people that's trying to kill time and talk stuff.
And good separation of the hot stage
Anyway,
adapter.
you did a good job.
We did not attempt a return to the launch site and catch attempt today when strict criteria were not met and the super heavy booster executed a planned divert to a landing burn and soft splashdown in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, obviously we were hoping to come back to the tower, but this was a test and we knew that it was a very viable possibility.
Starship is at 85 kilometers. Flaps now have control of the vehicle.
Right.
All right, great news there. Turning our attention over to the star of the show here, giving us these amazing views once again. We heard the call out there telling us that the Starship vehicle is now 83 kilometers above, coming up around T plus, well, now actually, the ship, as you can see, is beginning to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere. As a reminder, one of the main goals of today's flight test is for the ship to make it through the extreme heat of re-entry and to do so in a controlled manner. Now, re-entry is typically a portion of flight where we don't have communication capability with the spacecraft because it's re-entering at or around orbital velocity, which is roughly 8 kilometers per second or about 5 miles per second. Now at those speeds, it's pretty fast. The spacecraft is moving through the atmosphere rather quickly, and that results in friction, as we can see that starting to happen on our screen, and this creates a plasma field around the vehicle.
5 miles a second
of plasma distorts communication frequencies, so it's not uncommon to experience brief blackouts in communication.
Can you imagine seeing that go by if you were just outside?
Approaching the peak heating phase of entry.
5 miles a second. It
would
would be
cool to something re-enter, way up in the atmosphere.
The peak heating phase. We're getting these views courtesy of Starlink. We've got 4 different terminals on the ship itself. It's what's really allowed us to get real-time data during what's otherwise been just a mystery box, essentially, for spacecraft design, where when you're re-entering through the atmosphere,
game-changing,
getting anything.
Oh yeah,
hasn't ever been possible.
Can you imagine how beneficial that would have been during the space race to the moon?
Telemetry from the ship as it's coming through.
Getting that kind of data.
Do really want to stress that we are really pushing the ship today. The heat shield is not in the same configuration as it was last flight, where we had a team of ship techs do just an otherworldly task, replacing the entire heat shield, thousands of tiles, installing a backup ablative, and that pretty much set us up to do a pinpoint landing on Flight 5. We did not do that with this one. We have some backup in those really sensitive areas around the flat, but this is an older generation heat shield. And knowing we weren't going to do that, we even went and removed some extra tiles. There are some missing tiles on the nose cone where we're testing some backups. There are some steel-covered tiles in a couple of different spots. And there's also a whole lot more steel of the ship showing.
Look at that footage. Look at that top video. Look how fast.
Haircut, a couple hundred tiles trimmed off the
Look
sides.
at that.
That's where we might
something's burning off good.
Colors starting to come in. So it looks like things are going to start heating up, Kate.
Waiting for the troll doll to melt
Fun
and
fact,
disappear.
we actually removed 2,100 heat shield tiles from Starship in order to
Something's
basically
burning
present
off
that
really good right
necessary
there.
receding line, which you kind of can see there in your view.
It's almost like they're
Think back
expecting
to
it to burn
previous
up in
flights,
reentry.
the heat shield line came up further on the vehicle, and just like Dan said, we want to test the vehicle beyond what we think it is capable of carrying
I want to
based on
view
our simulations
the banana
and
right now.
calculations.
Right?
So once again, to just be super plain, don't be surprised if we see some wackadoodle stuff happen here.
Wackadoodle.
We won't be. There are a number of things that we are testing out intentionally to see what the ship can take.
Do you hear how they said they removed tiles to test like backup in case a tile fails? That's cool.
Essentially, removing those tiles helps us remove a lot of weight from the vehicle, a lot of things that might potentially need refurbishment in the future. And the goal is to come up with a heat shield pattern or design that we don't have to refurbish. We can just continue to use it over and over again. And that's why we're changing some of those tiles and moving stuff around, removing a lot of those tiles, as Kate has been mentioning.
Exactly. And, looking forward to the Starship capability of the future, we want to be able to catch Starship like we do with boosters. And so the next flight, we want to better understand where we can install catch hardware, not necessarily to actually do the catch, but to see how that hardware holds up in those spots. And today's flight will help inform, does the stainless steel hold up like we think it may based on experiments that we conducted on Flight 5.
Look at that.
Now, continuing to look, amazing views. Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, there's so much on this flight that we're doing to try and, make all the ships that we're about to start flying even better. Just really understand what their capabilities are gonna be. We've got kind of the next gen ship lined up for Flight 7. It's got all of those heat shield upgrades and everything. And one of the things that we're going to be doing
look how fast the speed is bleeding off.
Yeah, do you hear that noise on reentry?
Yeah. We're going to be kind of nose down, and we've done it in wind tunnels. We've done it in simulations. You might see the flaps really flapping around, trying to control the vehicle.
Ooh, look at that heat going over that flap.
We might have a little bit more capability than we think in just the analysis, but always a chance that bet doesn't pay off. But that just helps us know, like, what are our
Starship
limits.
is now halfway through the peak heating phase of entry.
Sweet. Halfway there. Halfway home, guys.
Halfway through peak heating.
Gosh, look how amazing
and if you guys,
that is.
again, can follow along with the altitude and the speed of ship as it's making its way back down to Earth, bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Speed is still going really, really fast. Again, as it gets closer to Earth, we'll see that altitude drop a little bit faster. It's kind of dropping pretty slow right now. And again, as we get closer and closer to literally the surface of the water, then we'll start to see that speed pick up. And if we can make it through this re-entry, we will attempt to do that flip maneuver once again and splash down in the ocean.
Nice.
Exactly. Like we've been saying, we are testing beyond the perceived limits of the vehicle. We want to go learn more about the ship, and this is a great opportunity to do that. So really pushing the flight hardware in a flight environment to help inform these future designs. As we've mentioned, it has a different heat shield. This heat shield is not the same generation as what we flew last time. This one is one generation older. So we are also testing out new secondary thermal protection materials. So basically, like, if the heat shield isn't in this one spot, can this other material protect the metal is the thinking there. Also, checking of the ship's structural strength in those areas where we're looking to add that ship catch hardware just to see if it survives entry. So yeah, as we've been saying, we've done a lot of calculations and simulations. This view right here is super cool. This is looking out from the aft engine bay, basically at the bottom of Starship. Then on the center left-hand panel, if you will, we have one of the forward Starship flaps. So one of the flaps located.
I want to
at the
know
top
what's causing that yellow stream out the back.
The aft
Right?
end flaps, like the one that we see.
That was
in
the first
main picture
one
there
too.
on the
We
right-hand
saw.
side of your screen. Now, these views as
The troll
vehicle
doll is still
continues to
there, by the
enter
way.
Earth's atmosphere, drawing once again here
Wow,
at
look at that.
SpaceX and
If
Hawthorne
if
as
Starship
folks
makes
tune
it
in
through
as the
everything, how
mission continues
does it
on. Now, the next
vertical
event
into
we
the
have
ocean, or does it parachute,
It
or
does-
what?
should
It,
hear
It does a flip
the call
maneuver
out that
like
the
this,
vehicle
and then
is
lands on the water.
transonic.
on the water,
Around
okay.
T+1 hour.
So
and
similar
2
what the
minutes or so.
booster would do.
That means
Yeah.
that the vehicle is traveling near the speed of sound. We say near the speed of sound because there are certain parts of the vehicle where airflow is going faster and other parts where it's going slower. So it kind of teeters there on the brink of the speed of sound. So
I'm
once
seeing a
we
few
have
areas
equal
where
flow
it's
on all parts, then we'll hear it
shedding some
subsonic.
material.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and almost real quick, almost a reverse of. I'm sorry, Jesse. Almost a reverse of before. We see the Earth starting to come into view. We've got sunrise there, over the Indian Ocean. So this is going to look different. from
Wow,
any
look
of the
how
adventures
cool
we've
that
had
is.
before. And it was specifically so.
Look at those
that we
colors.
As much daylight as possible
I
to see how
know.
ship does this.
Wild.
Over to you, Jesse. Sorry about that.
Dan, great minds think alike. That's exactly what I was going to point out, is that we're getting a lot clearer view of the Earth in the background with the different temperatures that we're seeing, with the different colors of that plasma around the ship, which is really, really cool to see. Again, we are pushing the limits of ship today, but so far everything is looking pretty nominal. We'll see how the next few minutes goes.
Yeah, like we said
See how the
before, don't be
banana
surprised if this is not
is
entirely
it's
smooth
toasty.
sailing all the way down to the
Man,
ocean
look
surface.
at that.
Similar to Flight 5, we are targeting the same splashdown location in the Indian Ocean. But
Sorry,
we are not
folks.
expecting
Ryan's
to
having some
recover
work
the
done
vehicle.
at the house.
Right, and we were getting
So
some glimpses of
occasionally
the flaps. The
you
flaps
get
so
that.
far are looking pretty good. We're not seeing any burn through. There's those flaps again in that hinge area, which is our most concerning area there.
That's true.
That's great
That's
news
looking
for us for
good.
now. Again, the next few minutes could change as we continuously push those limits.
I'm just amazed that we're
Once
able
we
to
slow
watch
down
this.
a little bit, once we're subsonic essentially, so I think that's about 1,200 kilometers an hour. Once we're down below that, that's when we're going to kind of
that's cool
dip our
with the
nose
sun
down
coming up.
and get that more aggressive angle of attack. Normally we're just belly flop right into the water, pretty much that position. But if we're going to be able to do return to launch sites, we're going to want to be able to fly with a little bit more of an angle of attack, get you a little bit more range as you're coming through. And so this'll be just a test to see quite how far can we push it. And obviously we're going to do these kind of tests way out here in super remote areas before you ever try to bring a ship back to a place like Starbase.
Starship remains on a good entry trajectory. External temperatures are coming down.
Just look at how the colors right around the edges.
All right, great
I
news
know.
there. That tells us that we are through
from
the
red to
phase
yellow to
of
green.
peak heating.
Is it
So
just
we are
me, or does
expecting these
the
temperatures
fuselage
to continue to
right
come down?
in the
Once
screen,
again,
does it look
we
like it's
are
buckled a little bit,
targeting
or
a
is that
soft
just
splashdown
is that
in
just
the
an
like
optical
that.
illusion?
It looks like that to
around
me
the-
too. I was
off
actually going to
the
ask that
northwest
earlier.
coast of
It'd be
Australia.
cool if they
We
could
can
put
see
like
these
internal and
beautiful
external
views of planet
temperatures on the
Earth
telemetry.
coming in. Yes, this is very different. Where
I'm sure they
we
have
had
it,
nighttime
Right.
views of the ship as it was re-entering.
Oh, I see a little
And now
bit of
we've got
burn
daylight.
through
It is about
in the
an
middle.
hour or
Oh,
so
yeah.
after
Very
sunrise
On the-
there
on the
in
very
Indian
front of it.
Ocean. So pretty cool to see this.
Yeah, and it might not seem like it makes a huge difference, but we do get a little bit more light on
Or
ship
it's
as
heating
well
up
for
a
the
lot. I
camera
don't know
views
if
that
it's
we
burned
have,
through, but
Yeah.
which is very beneficial for
And
us
this
to
is the-
visually see anything.
This here
and
is the forward
try and
flap.
correlate that to any of the sensors or
This is
data
the
that we
aft
have
flap.
on the vehicle.
Exactly. That is why we shifted our launch window so that we could have that daylight in order to improve our observations of the vehicle. So not only are we getting all the raw data from all the sensors that are on board Starship, but we also have multiple cameras and assets out there that are watching the vehicle and will also be able to tell us with this visual story that is
look at
also
the
very, very important.
colors on that stainless steel.
And as we get down a little bit lower, the Raptor engines are in their chill phase right now, so just essentially getting them primed to turn on. We're going to use those 3 center engines
Subsonic now.
to do a landing flip and then a landing burn. So We'll come down kind of in that slightly pointed down belly flop and then fire off those engines to float.
Yeah, I don't know if the fuselage is buckled there. I think that's like some sort of
like a port. Maybe
yeah.
it's a propellant port.
Yeah.
Or something.
We start hearing some call
just
outs
didn't
on
notice
transonic
it when
and
it was
subsonic
dark.
as we slow down.
It looks a lot in this. It looks a lot
once you
different in
hear
this light.
Starship as subsonic, keep a close eye on the flaps. They're going to be working overtime essentially to maintain control of the ship as we get a little more aggressive with this.
Oh yeah, there's that one flap that was heating up.
We can see that we are beginning.
Starship has passed maximum entry dynamic pressure.
All right, great call out there. But
that's
we can
like
see
burning off.
Here
see the
we
ash?
there on that looks like one of the forward flaps on Starship.
That is hot.
This is to be expected. We knew that the vehicle would perform differently than what we had seen on Flight 5. This is actually really good data because it tells us what parts of the vehicle at this, what will soon be a higher angle of attack once we drop down below the speed of sound.
It's cooling
we'll
off,
have a higher
though.
angle of attack, meaning we're going to be flying nose down, basically. So yeah, this is good news, but we can actually, looks like that heating is starting to cool off there.
Down.
Yeah, it's a little burn through. Again, it is important to note when we
is that angle looking? Is that the nose directly ahead?
As well. So
that's aft.
That's aft. Okay.
Because if you look right next to the speed and altitude, it's got the actual angle
doing a little better
that Starship is facing in the graphic.
Which is some good news. Again, constantly watching. We've got a couple minutes until we're expecting to make it all the way back down to Earth.
Exactly. And like we said before, we are not expecting to recover the ship, although that would be great. It'd be a nice bonus if it happened, but it's not really in our expectations today. We really want to push the hardware, as we've been saying, but really the telemetry and the data and the video that we receive all the way to the end is truly what we're looking for and will help inform the future designs of this vehicle.
The flaps.
The flap moving. Yeah, the camera is mounted on the flap.
Around. That's what you're seeing there is the flaps adjusting. And we have a camera on one of the flaps there this is the view that you're seeing there.
So look at the angle.
And you can also see the graphic at the bottom.
Starship is slowing down past Mach 1.
And call-outs aligning with this. You can see the orientation of the vehicle starting to change. You can follow that graphic at the bottom of your screen.
So freaking cool.
Again, that is why those flaps are changing. They control the orientation of the vehicle.
There we go. It's starting to go nose down.
Remains on a good trajectory.
I was gonna say this is when things will start to get a little interesting. So this is when we're moving slower than the speed of sound. You can see that nose slowly start to tip down. And we're going to try and maintain flap control the whole way, but we are just a couple minutes away from hopefully doing a landing flip and landing burn.
Eat your popcorn,
if the flaps
people.
can hold together.
Oh wow!
This is such a cool view. This reminds me of when we first performed the belly flop maneuver on the high altitude test with serial number 8. We saw the ship come back through, and I always wondered what it looked like from the ship's perspective, and this perspective, I think, helps inform that. We will be, as Dan said, we will be dipping down a little further and really be flying nose first. This higher angle of attack, we're intentionally doing it to stress those aft flaps, and that will help inform the limits of flap control in order to collect data for future landing profiles.
I mean, we're looking good so far. We've just got about 5 kilometers in altitude to go. We'll ignite the engines when we're still just a couple hundred meters over the ground. Do that flip.
Starship is passing through 5 kilometers altitude. Remains on a good trajectory.
I have a feeling this is going to look so cool as it passes through the clouds.
Oh, yeah, it will look so cool. Oh, there's
Dang,
cloud
dude,
there.
there it goes.
There it goes.
Avionics team on Starship.
Oh wow! Look at that.
And there's that nose down orientation.
With a little bit of turbulence through the clouds.
Yep. The moisture in the air.
Raptor engines
A
will
bit of bait.
relight and help flip the booster back
Look at
up.
that
This is a more
working.
severe flip given the orientation.
Look, it's
Engines
back to
will
a nose
shut
up
down
attitude.
prior to the water making impact, prior to the vehicle making impact with the water.
Our ship is doing great so far.
Oh, they lit it.
They lit it. I want to see another angle now.
Oh my god.
Great reorientation.
Come on.
Oh my God, they
by
did it.
Starship.
Look at
Oh,
that.
they have live camera too.
Down to 2.
That is unbelievable. Look at that.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And we have ship splashed
Wow.
down in the Indian Ocean.
Some awesome buoy cam action
Oh
here.
my God.
Daylight views.
Uh-oh.
No, that's normal.
Incredible. We really pushed the limits on shipping and made it all the way back down
Once
to
it
Earth.
lands and hits the water, I mean, anything
shocked,
can
to
happen.
be honest.
Right, exactly.
I think many folks are. The fact that it survived all the way through while flying a lesser gen heat shield is just absolutely incredible.
wild.
And turns out the vehicle had more capability than our calculations predicted. And that is why we test like we fly.
Exactly.
Now
why we
they
do
know the
that. And
limits,
those
right?
views were absolutely incredible to watch. Because of Starlink, we were able to get the views all the way down, as well as the buoys, seeing ship touchdown in daylight.
So what's
So
the
cool.
condition
So
of
cool.
the banana
Now,
ladies?
we want to,
Right?
unfortunately, wrap up the show.
Is the banana cam still
We'll say
functioning?
congratulations to
I
our
think that
teammates at
Starship
SpaceX
was
who
a banana
Peace
cam.
out.
supported the Starship program.
Nice.
And thank you to all of our future customers for your support.
We'd also like to thank the people of Cameron County, Texas, as well as the Coast Guard, the Federal Aviation Administration, the Government of Mexico, and the Australian Space Agency.
All right. I think
Now,
they're wrapping
be
it
sure
up,
to-
maybe.
See if
They're
there's
not
any
quite
other
sure.
video.
A little bit of a miscommunication there on their part.
I think they just saw the B-sob on screen.
Hey,
So
guys.
they're like, what the hell is that?
That was just incredible to see that splashdown. As you said, thanks to everybody that took such a huge part in this. Everybody here at Starbase that's worked on this program, just really
Look in
pouring
the
your lives into
background
it.
behind him.
Great
right
to see
here.
another booster lift off. We'll catch it the next time.
It's all the
Great
Starship
to see ship
power.
in the water. New version of ship coming soon, so a lot more exciting launches coming up real soon here from Starbase. But I'll send us out this time. We'll see you guys next time.
That was pretty awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Be sure to follow SpaceX on X for updates and more exciting views that we weren't able to feature on today's broadcast.
I'm sure there will be plenty of those. Now, thanks to all of you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
All
Wow,
right.
that was amazing.
Cool. Well, that was cool to experience. It's awesome that it's gonna survive more than they thought. So that's good. That's why you push the limits, right?
What? What's pretty wild is that Starship seemed like it survived better than other flights.
It really did. The flaps
know,
themselves, there was no visible burn through. There was that little bit on the nose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
they're nailing it. They're getting everything tested. Wow. Unbelievable.
So I just got an alert on my phone. This is from one of my weather apps that I have, and the headline says SpaceX calls off nail-biting catch attempt as booster splashes down to Earth, and it says find out why. Let's see, just see if there's any.
Hopefully not clickbait.
I know, right? It looks like
I know.
clickbait to me. Let's see, blah blah blah, because it's just streaming the event. Let's see, blah blah. Go of these flights, blah blah. Yeah, it's just I hate it. I hate
Weird.
clickbait.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out in the next, couple hours. I'm sure they'll release some data.
Oh yeah.
Sure. But one thing I wanted to share is let's see here. So this is an article from Sat News. SpaceX Starship to fly 25 launches in 2025.
Hell yes.
Let's see. SpaceX giant 400-foot tall Starship will make a 6th test flight on November 19th. Okay, that was today.
Did you want to put that on screen, or you just want to read
Did
it?
I not put that on screen? I thought I did. I'm sorry.
Negative there, brother. That's okay.
I meant to. There we go.
And if you could zoom in a little bit.
Is that not loud or
loud? It's definitely not loud.
Yeah, let me enlarge this for you. Let's see. Okay.
There you go.
All right, here we go. So
I think Ryan needs to bug out. So
okay.
See you,
Are you
brother.
heading out, brother?
If you got to
I
head
got
out.
to attend to a few things, but that was awesome. Looking forward to historic 2025 coming up.
Okay.
All right.
That was
Talk to you
awesome.
later, brother.
Peace
Sounds
out.
good, brother.
Thanks
We'll
for
see you.
watching, everyone. We'll see you guys on the next RampCheck Aviation live stream. Bye, guys.
Thanks, brother.
All right, see ya.
Let's see. Okay, so anyway, so SpaceX Starship to fly 25 launches in 2025. The next Starship flight test aims to expand. Okay, we knew all that. Let's see, Starships, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so it doesn't really give any, but you know what some of the test parameters are. And Elon Musk himself had said that he wanted to, right after the first of the year, they were going to attempt to catch Starship. Not just the booster, but Starship itself. And I think today's test was a crucial step because they wanted to increase that angle of attack, see how it held up, with a previous version of the tile. You know, the heat compression. They took tiles off of a certain area as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like
As they were explaining. Yeah, as they were explaining on the stream, they're trying to eliminate weight as much as they can. And by eliminating certain areas where the tiles and, were located, I mean, that's just going to save weight. And they're getting it. It's amazing to see the progress, because Flight 1 was wild. I mean, it was just like, Elon Musk was saying Flight 1 was, just the fact that they got off the launch pad was a success.
Oh no, it was a failure.
I know.
SpaceX, are they going to go out of business now because they?
I know. Mainstream media, they can suck it. But yeah, it's pretty wild. It's a cool time to be alive to witness all this. Oh, play that again while I'm not talking.
Go fuck yourself.
Or we could emphasize it a little more. Elon's just up there thinking this right now.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it, Elon. Love what you've done.
Is that clear?
Yes, it is very clear.
Absolutely.
But they were saying too, another one of the parameters, and we'll end the stream here in just a minute. By the way, thank you to everybody who's watching on X, YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble today. We really appreciate it. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel while we're at it. Sorry, squirrel. But one of the parameters that they said was they were trying to figure out where to put the whatever the pylons or whatever they were going to use for the catching portion of that. So a lot of the data that they got from today, or they're getting from today, will help them determine where the best place is to place those on the Starship. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we go, if we wanted, we could just show the Ramp Swag store really quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
And just real quick too, congrats to SpaceX and Elon Musk.
Yep, absolutely. And to 47.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Absolutely. Too bad it didn't get a land in the chopsticks for 47, but
yep.
But that's
do you think he's giving Elon a little shit right now?
There's going to be plenty of opportunity.
Oh man, yeah. We are going to go down there and witness a launch. It just.
Oh yeah.
We've got 25 opportunities next year to do that. We're going to make at least one of them.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, anything else about the launch today, brother?
No, I think that was fun.
And
once again,
Starship landing in the water.
Thanks to everybody for watching. We're going to try and bring every one of these to you guys. We know that you can just go and watch the official stream from SpaceX. We know there's a lot of space geeks out there, and I mean that like as a term of endearment because we're av geeks. And I know there's some space geeks out there that have some amazing channels. They provide amazing coverage. So you don't have to watch us, but thank you for doing so. We really appreciate it very much.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
anyway.
We do.
So yeah, why don't we head on over to the RampSwag store? You know, Christmas is coming up, everybody, and it's coming up fast. Thanksgiving is already next week. Ooh, I like those beanies.
That's right. Yeah, those beanies are kind of cool. I'll throw the little QR code on here.
Okay, perfect.
But you go to rampcheckglobal.com. That's where it all is. But so I added a ton of stickers and a bunch of other things. These are all stickers right now.
Black Widows, love it.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And then these silhouette stickers are pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
These are all stickers. Some of them you can get up to like 12, 13 inches wide, just depending on the silhouette of the aircraft. But you can see we got a bunch. Exactly.
Sorry.
Bunch of cool stickers. Original
the
designs
Raider.
as well. Yeah. Yeah, this Raider one that's a cool one. It's a cool sticker.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, so let's see. Let me get down to we got some swimsuits back up. I know it's not really a swimsuit season here in the
it's
northern
hot tub season.
It's hot tub season though. You got a point. Exactly. Right. And then a bunch of new hoodies, hats, even sweatpants, t-shirts, obviously
long sleeve hooded tees as well.
Yeah, we got some of those. Let's see. Here's some more swimwear, some more Air Force Fighter Squadron specific hoodies here. Yeah, I want to show you these new ones, the bombers and the echelon formation.
Awesome.
Isn't that sick?
So
like,
look
at this one here. Okay, peace through strength. We got B1, B2, B21, B52. Sick, love it,
dude.
But anyway,
order me one of those right now.
I know, aren't those badass?
Awesome. They are.
Those are
badass.
sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it comes in obviously a t-shirt version, long t-shirt, hoodie version, and then different colors. Even have for the dark colored shirts, we even have it with black instead of the red.
Mm-hmm.
See that there? So
yeah, that's sweet.
Anyway, these are just some of the new designs that I've been working on putting on the RampSwag store. But you can see everything here. Got more removed before flight swag on here.
Dude, we need some RampSwag Christmas ornaments. Ooh, scroll back up to that gray hoodie with the peace through strength on it. Right there with all the bombers.
Oh,
yeah.
This one is the bomber fleet one, America's backbone of freedom. That's a good one too. It's a little bit different than those others, but that's a cool one too.
Yep, I like it.
So anyway, yeah, check it out. The QR code's on screen. Go right to the RampSwag store. We design, every one of our t-shirts, hoodies, hats.
Yep, absolutely. What's the turnaround time right now? About 2 weeks?
No, it's less than that. It's roughly it's roughly 3 to 5 days to before it ships, and then whatever the shipping is, depending on where you're located. We do ship international as well, so you can order out of the United States.
Yep,
and we'd be more than happy to ship those to you.
Yeah. Get your loved ones some RampSwag for under the Christmas tree. Speaking of Christmas tree, where's our RampSwag ornaments?
I don't know. I haven't been able to have any time to do anything like that.
We'll have to come up with some for next year, but definitely get your loved ones some RampSwag. And you heard some of our introductory music if you caught the very beginning, our countdown timer, and the boys in the RampSwag band Anyway, we've got a really cool video that we just put up on Instagram, so you can check out our Instagram
right now.
and you can check that out, or you can just watch it here. So so we just use that to close the show with.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, before we end it, so no live stream tomorrow night. We've got a couple of other obligations, but usually we're on every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Time on your favorite streaming platform, X.
Yeah,
I freaking love X, dude.
I know, me too.
Twitter. So X. YouTube, of course. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on X. You can also follow us on Rumble. Catch the live stream there as well. If you're like really into the free speech platforms, Jesus, can't talk.
Yeah,
and also Facebook. But anyway,
yeah, and our Instagram, and everything is at RampCheck Global. So
really easy to remember.
We appreciate it. And then we can just kind of use this video as an outro, brother, and you can just take us out after the video's over.
Sounds good. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I'm Tony.
I'm Aaron.
See
ya. Silent whispers blend with roaring light. Steel wings slicing through the endless sky, chasing dreams where the eagles dare to fly. With fire in the heart and jets ablaze, defying the gravity, lost in the haze. A dance with destiny, the heavens ignite. In the solitude, she finds her light. Turning the world beneath a ballet of speed. Through clouds and shadows, she's destined to lead. A symphony of power in the calm so profound. Echoes of freedom in each thunderous sound. With fire in the heart.